Interesting stuff from the Barcelona president, Bartomeu, speaking to Diario Sport. Big old long interview, covered many topics, including whether or not he considered sacking Setien towards the end of the season. He said, no, not at any moment. I know there were reports which came out and said if he didn't win the next 2 matches, we'd replace him. But we never spoke about that. Meanwhile, Mauricio Pochettino, in a separate interview, has talked about the possibility of going and coaching Barcelona. I want to take you back to 2018. This is what he had to say at the time. Remember, he was coach of Espanyol, the city rivals in La Ligue. He said, I'd go back and work on my farm in Argentina before I coach Barca. Well, let's move on, shall we, to the comments that he made this week, referring to that quote, saying, you have to explain it properly. I was in Barcelona that year and I bumped into Bartomeu at a bar. We spoke with each other for 5 minutes because our children go to the same school. This sent the rumour mill into overdrive and I wanted to end that immediately, but I didn't want to disrespect Barcelona. I could have said things differently. Espanyol is where I made my name, but I'm not arrogant and I didn't like making the comments I did. Maybe now I wouldn't have done that because you never know what could happen in the future. Frank and Ali still with us. Beep, 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 beep.
Yes,
little bit of...
rewind.
Although, look, to be fair, you can kind of understand it, can't you? If you're Pochettino, Ali, in the sense that at the time you're with Espanyol, you say everything that you expect to be said as their coach. But come on, if you get the opportunity to coach Barcelona, you're going to do it.
And you certainly say what you need to say when the farming business has not worked out in Argentina. And so therefore, he doesn't have a farm to work in. He has to then look for his actual profession, which is being a manager of a football team. And so as it pertains to Pochettino, I think you get caught up in the whole rivalry between Espanyol and Barcelona and historically what that has meant. And because at the time when he was a player and then a coach for Espanyol, then you sort of play to your crowd. Now, that crowd is now going to be supporting a team that is going to be in the second division in Spain. So, well, I'll say the bond with that crowd is not nearly as strong. Let's just say that. And for a guy who's out of a job and there's an opportunity to perhaps take over Barcelona, then of course you're going to say things like, hey, never mind that. I didn't mean it. Yeah. My bad. Hey, it's all right. It's okay. Cool. Nothing to see here. I'm open to the world and to every possibility. And my heart is with whomever wants me. You know what, Pochettino? Probably I would do the same thing.
Yeah, that's it. That's going to be a question to you, Frank. You know, obviously fans get hooked up on these sort of things quite a lot. Is the player as loyal to us? Obviously, Marseille, your big team, PSG, the rivals. Like, would you ever not play for PSG during your time because of your connection with Marseille?
Well, I was born in Marseille, and before I signed for Marseille, I had the former chairman, Mr. Borelli, who came to me, and I was 21 years old, and he wanted me to sign for Paris Saint-Germain. I would have gone. I mean, we have a career, we have a plan, and if you have an opportunity, we're gonna think about it. And for me, it was clear that it was an opportunity and a good opportunity to sign for Paris Saint-Germain. I couldn't sign for other reasons, but yes, when you're a player, you think about things. And Laurent Blanc, look at Laurent Blanc. He was the captain of Marseille and became the coach of Paris Saint-Germain and did well. And the fans, they loved him. So yeah, time goes by and you can make bad comments and you can be in the middle of a rivalry. But if you prove that you're good, I think the fan will do everything to make sure that everything's okay. We saw so many players, Ronaldo playing for Barcelona and Real Madrid. The same for Figo. We saw other players with the other way around, like Luis Enrique. I mean, so many players playing for Inter Milan and AC Milan. So it's not really a problem for me, but still, you know, sometimes it's better to keep your mouth shut, you know, before saying something stupid like that, and try to rewind and drop, you know, because you feel a little bit in danger. So yeah, good luck for him. But in the same way, I don't know why we talk about Pochettino, because I read also Bartomeu article and an interview, because it's clear for me, because he even talked about it, that Xavi will come to Barcelona very, very soon. It can be next year. I think it's going to be next year. And it's why they don't want to sack Setien. because they want to make sure that Xavi will be the coach when he
rubbish,
decides to be the coach.
If I'm a Barcelona fan, it's like, why on earth do I put my season on hold for a whole year, by the way, with Messi's time counting down, to wait for Xavi to come in? You've got no idea if he's going to be any good. Surely, if I'm Barcelona and Bartomeu, Setien gets knocked out Champions League, rubbish. Right, Poch, come on, come in. Here's your contract. And then you've got to lead us. You can't put the whole club on hold for Xavi. We don't even know if he's a good coach or not.
Why do you think having Setien is putting the club on hold? I mean, why?
Because he's rubbish.
Are you
because
sure
he hasn't done anything. Because
yes,
the team hasn't done anything.
How do you know? How do you know that Pochettino will be successful?
Because his record is much more
somebody
established.
Who can read?
He's got a much more established record, surely, than Setien.
Yeah. I mean, the second season for Tottenham wasn't that convincing for me. You know, he had some problem with the Spurs. So I'm not sure that Pochettino, with all due respect, is going to do well in Barcelona. And you sign a contract with a player for what, a year? Because otherwise you will have to pay him if you sack him after, because Xavi is coming. Yeah. So I think it's a wise thing to say, they want to wait. They're going to give Setien a chance. If it's a catastrophe, they're going to sack him and take somebody from the reserve team and wait for Xavi to come.
I can bet on that. What an absolute disaster that would be.
I can bet on that.
Do that. Why? I don't get it at all. It's not like you're waiting for Pep to come back and he's going to lead you away. It's Xavi, we don't know.
Because they want somebody who understands the club, who belong to that
Setien
club.
Was supposed to understand the club. Setien was supposed to play their way, bring it back. You know.
Yeah, but he hasn't got the experience and the aura of Xavi. You cannot compare Setien with Xavi. Xavi is, I mean, Cruyff. You had Cruyff, then you had Guardiola. Now you have Xavi, and then maybe one day, maybe you will have Messi. But that's what it is in Barcelona. I don't know if Ali agrees with me.
Well, what I would say is that this article and this interview to Diario Sport by Bartomeu, it doesn't happen by accident. So you have to believe that there's a message that he's trying to send out. And between the lines in reading and kind of putting things together, there isn't really a commitment to Setien. He's just saying what he needs to say to get him through the next month or so and see what happens in Champions League. And hopefully it's a positive outcome. And then you'll cross that bridge whenever you get there. But I clearly understand from what Bartomeu is saying that he's trying to put out this sort of picture as if they do have a plan in place. And we all know from the reports that we get from Spain, from the things that we hear from Sid Lowe, that the plan for Barcelona changes on a daily basis. It's never really a long-term thing. It's almost like, okay, so we please Messi, and then we plug this hole, and we plug that hole over there, and hopefully if we sell this player, then we get enough money to go and get that player. And it's never really sort of a step-by-step sequential planning structure for Barcelona. And that is a criticism that we have had of this club for a long time. So to think that where he sits right now, Bartomeu, has really made a plan as to what's going to happen with Setien, Xavi, Pochettino, or whoever is rumored to come to that door, it's crazy talk. Because I don't think right now Barcelona is in a position where they do have a plan. They're just trying to get through the next week and financially trying to make sense of what happens next year. And until they answer those questions, all these other conversations end up being meaningless.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.